Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Everlasting Summer. Part 7, I believe we aren't. Part 7. That is very surprising. Because with Mo Era, our previous walkthrough, which of a dating sim, which if you haven't seen already, you should definitely see. It's a pretty epic series, I would say. But anyway, I feel like this is going to be a little bit longer than that game, even though I've already played through the other one 3 times. That's neither here nor there. Last time, that if you watched like the last 2 minutes of last episode, you know what went down. Like, it got a little R-wordy, if you know what I'm saying. Some candy was stolen, and some virginity was almost stolen as well. But it wasn't, so that's pretty epic. So now we are at dinner, and this is the night of the big dance, and we have a lot of obligations to fulfill. So I'm just gonna get right into it. We're here with our boy Electro Nick on stage left, and Shirik on stage right. So our copy is talking, and he is saying, "What's happening, gentlemen?" Every time I had to deal with them, I got an itching desire to tease them, or at least to drop some cheeky or cocky banter. Cocky's a great adjective. It might be too risky to behave that way, but the Electro Nick brothers were my primary source of positive emotions. "How are you doing?" "Fine. What about you?" "Hit and misses." "Did something happen?" "Lots of stuff." "Mind sharing?" "Nah, some other time maybe." "Suit yourself." He made a helpless gesture. "We're going to the ball after dinner," Electronet giggled. "I know that." "Who would you want to ask out?" "I hadn't thought about it yet. What about you?" Well, It seemed that this question caught him off guard. "Ask Ilyana. That would make her happy." "No thanks." Electronic furiously waved his hands. "And you, Shirik, you gotta ask Eliza out." "Thanks, I'll pass." "That's my girl. Why would I tell him to ask out Eliza? That's a no-go for me." He looked calmer than his mate. "Oh, come on, guys. It'd be fun." "And in any case, we've got things to do. We still have to finish the robot." "Oh, that's a marvelous idea. Ask your robot out. Can it dance?" "It can't even walk yet." I'm going to insert that clip of the Boston Dynamic robot right here. If I don't, flame me in the comments.
My friends and I were tortured. We were in hell. Life is precious. Even us.
Shirik probably missed the point completely. "Why, it would be a great demonstration of our achievements in front of the camp." "And what would we show to them?" "Yeah, you're right." They both stared at their plates disappointedly. Dot, dot, dot. Dot, dot, dot. Looks like dinner's over. Oh, there we go. Dinner was over, and the pioneers started to disperse. "What will you wear for the ball?" I asked Shirik and Electro Nick. "We don't have anything special to wear. We'll go as we are." He indicated his pioneer uniform. They don't seem to care about their appearance at all. Well, why should I care then? Wearing my winter clothes is an option, so I'll just go like this. "When does it start?" "After 9 o'clock. "Got it." I left the canteen and deeply inhaled the fresh evening air. I remembered those rare dances I used to go to at school. Hesitation, insecurity, even fear. I couldn't dance. I didn't know how to react if someone had invited me. I wouldn't dare to invite someone myself. All in all, I felt pretty uncomfortable about it, and it was even more unpleasant to watch others having fun. It wasn't envy, more like it was a disconcerting feeling that people were able to enjoy something odd for me. I thought that there was still lots of time till the ball so I could sleep a little to be fresh in the evening. Entering the camp leader's cabin, I flopped onto the bed instantly and shut my eyes. I just realized it starts at 9 o'clock. Like, I would be getting ready for bed. Like, that's a no-go for me. Plans after 9? No thank you. I need that sleep. Gotta maximize my muscle growth, you feel me? Strangely enough, I got up right on time without an alarm. The clock was showing 9. Such a rare thing to happen. I felt sluggish, though. Probably it wasn't the best idea to sleep during the day after all. I'm going to see Eliza instead of the dance. So it's time then. But I agreed to help Lena. And what should I do now? Ooh, so we do have to make the decision. Shoot. These are the classic, I have 2 dates to the dance, but there is a dance in this case, and neither of those girls are going to the dance. So I can go to the dance party or go to Eliza. Dude, she's going to open up. Like, the tsundere, there are 2 parts to the tsundere. The outer exterior, where she's mean to you, and then when she gets to know you better, like, that's when her soft side opens up, and that's pretty epic. So that's my rationale for the decision. I hope you understand. And if you don't, tell me I was wrong in the comments. A few minutes later, I approached the stage. Maybe it was a bad idea accepting her offer. Just talking to Eliza means danger. On the other hand, I wasn't eager to go to the dance. What can I do there? I'd only disgrace myself. No, I'm better off listening to Eliza play the guitar. Coming closer, I saw a person sitting on the edge of the stage with her legs dangling. So, you came after all. Wait, let me rephrase that. So, you came after all. That's better. Eliza put the guitar aside and jumped to the ground. There was even a trace of joy on her face for a moment. Playing for someone is surely more interesting than being alone. As you can see. What are we going to do? What do you mean, what? I'm asking you. Well, you wanted... I got a sudden idea that this situation is one for usual pranks, and I should have never expected to hear any guitar songs. I'm going to bed. Bye. I turned around and waved a hand intentionally slowly. Hey! Eliza grabbed my sleeve. What? Don't you want to listen or something, Baka? Alright, her milkers have been exposed, fellas. This is epic. Listen to what? You yourself don't know what you're going to do. Of course I know. She took the guitar and hit the strings with a plectrum a couple of times. Is that like a pick? Sit next to me. I didn't object, and in a moment I was sitting beside her. It's better this way. Miss the dance, leave now, then what would I do? The role of a stranger was more suitable for a passive observer and not for the eager seeker of answers, who I wanted to be so badly. So, I'll show you how to play this song now. Just like that? Right away? What do you mean right away? I haven't held a guitar for a long time. She could probably guess how long it'd been since I held one. My skills were enough to make a cat laugh. It's not difficult. I threw an intense look at Eliza. It distinctly seems to me that she just can't express her feelings. She could lose her strange self-control for a moment, and I get to see a casual and even funny and friendly girl. And then when her self-confidence and impudence turned back on, it was bitchness as usual. And which is the real one? Hey. What? Stop daydreaming. Oh, yeah. Sorry. So, are you watching? I am. What song is this? The one I played this morning, of course. Oh. Okay, I'm listening. Eliza made up her mind and started to play. That's it. Did you get everything? I may have understood it, but it probably won't be enough to replicate it. How shall I put it? It's okay. Practice makes perfect. She's undoubtedly right on this point, but I've had problems with practice all my life. Well, I took the guitar from Eliza and tried to play the first chord. It was hard, as if my fingers were tied in a knot and didn't want to be in the right place. I used to be better before, but now I couldn't even play Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Well? Wait a moment. Looks like you want to be a rock hero. She laughed kindly. It may be better this way. I hissed, vainly trying to remember the order to string to press. Well, the guitar started to make devilish sounds resembling the groans of a wounded dinosaur. My left hand fingers constantly missed the right frets, and my right hand didn't strike in rhythm. Let's call that progressive rock. Progressive? Well, give it back. She took the guitar away, and it sounded completely different in her hands. I felt embarrassed by my clumsiness for a moment. Eliza's skills may not be on the level of a pro guitarist, but nonetheless, she played simple things like this with confidence. She must have a lot of practice. Did you get it this time? She finished and offered the guitar to me. Well, I did better the second time, but it was still a long way from Eliza's level, or from any decently adequate level. I was aware of how totally worthless I was compared to her. It seemed so simple. Just play a song with 3 chords. The tune is too simple, though. I put the guitar aside. Eliza was lost in thought for a moment. Even a preschool kid could play it better. Thanks. I tried. So I noticed. She might be trying to demonstrate her evident superiority at playing the guitar. It's not like everyone can be a musician. Not really. Eliza looked up at the sky. Though, you can't be one, that's for sure. Why is that? You should have... I need some Wawa. My tongue's all tied. You should have heard yourself. I started to regret coming. Here. Well, don't mind me. Why does Eliza need to do this? It's obvious that I'm a horrible guitarist. Obviously. But if I had some practice... So, will you practice? I don't know. Maybe I will. The guitar was the least of my problems, though. I'm stuck in a strange world I can't escape from. That's more important than a stupid argument with Eliza. I suddenly felt an annoying self-pity, apathy, and an urge to leave this place, to forget this evening. Those feelings left a nasty impression and a burning desire to do or say something stupid. As if it would change anything. What? Me learning to play the guitar. You surely couldn't. You'd strum the guitar for a couple of days and give it up. Eliza's words pierced my heart. You know what? Oh well. Should she know? Is it any concern of hers? Am I reacting this way just because it's true and that's Eliza who spoke the truth? You can't know how to do everything. Probably not. But you should be able to do at least... You should be able to do something. So, are you saying that I can't do anything? How should I know? You know, I what? Should I tell her about my computer skills? Or about the books I've read and movies I've watched? Well, this is a pointless conversation. That goes without saying. You're only concerned with having fun. And you do nothing but whine. Forget it. I jumped down from the stage and walked away from the concert area. Go then, I heard Eliza yelling to me. I'm already going. I hissed. The path led me back to the square. There was Slavia in the center of it, sweeping the area. Oh, Markapi, hi. I thought everyone was already asleep. No, what are you doing? A cleaning up after the ball. Why didn't you? Come. Just. And where have you been? I hadn't the slightest intention of telling Slavia how I embarrassed myself on stage with the guitar in front of Eliza while the whole camp was having fun at the square. I took a walk. Okay, but you should have come. It was fun. Glad you enjoyed yourself. I've been sweating like a pig today because of worries or just the hot night. Hey, do you know where I can have a bath? Certainly. Go straight, then a bit to the left by the path, then to the right. There will be about a house. Should I accompany you? No need. I'll find it myself. I totally didn't want to burden her more. I walked down the forest path into the direction Slavia showed me. My whole body was itching. How didn't I notice it before? And more important, what else hadn't I noticed? If things kept going like this, then I'll have to stay in this world forever. I shivered at the thought. Probably at the idea that I didn't feel any terror, or even just fear. Just like it's all the natural flow of things. I could see a bathhouse behind the trees. And why do the pioneers have baths here? Olga Dmitrievna had said something about repairs to the showers, though. No reason to worry about it now. There was soap and clean towels, so I quickly washed myself, went outside, and breathed in a chest full of fresh night air. It's so wonderful that physical cleanliness brings spiritual cleanliness. All of my problems, if not went away, then at least became less important. It's like the water washed away not only the dirt from my body, but also the anxiety from my mind. I suddenly started yawning, so I headed towards the leader's cabin, rubbing my eyes. Ooh, I didn't take even a few steps before Eliza jumped out of the bushes. What are you doing here? I was just washing myself. She came to her senses and spoke again. And what? How should I know? Then why do you speak if you don't know? All my peace of mind vanished in a moment. Only the irritation and wariness remains. Okay, well, if you don't mind. Wait. Now what? If back there on the stage you thought that, well, I didn't want to offend you or anything, okay, Baka? It's okay. I'm not offended. I just can't play the guitar. Nothing special. A lot of people can't. I felt that there were obvious signs of irritation in my voice, but I couldn't do anything about it. I wanted to say everything to her face, right here, right now. Exactly. You can't. Eliza obviously restrained herself from laughing. Oh, I've already had enough of you. She totally drove me out of my wits at that moment. In another second, I would have started to yell at her. Or worse. Wait. Would you just leave me alone? Eliza followed me but didn't try to stop me. I really didn't want to offend. Some invisible power made me turn around. Okay, can I go now? Yes, of course. In the moonlight, Eliza looked very beautiful with a brief guilty expression on her face. If she could only keep her mouth shut. What are you smirking at? Look at the milkers, man. Although, nothing. I just thought if only you were a little bit more polite. Then what? I shouldn't say such things. People can get ideas depending on their intellectual abilities. Then nothing. You should finish what you started. There's nothing to finish. I'm very tired and I'm going to sleep. Stop right there. Don't make me run away from you. As if you could. She may be right. I'm already exhausted from this day, and naturally I had no intention of running after a bath. Ah, that's refreshing, Wawa. So what? What? If only I would be more polite. Then what? Try it and you'll see. Why should I do anything for a fool like you? Then don't try. What does it have to do with me? I sighed and dragged myself to the square. And what about you then? What? I replied without turning to her. Well, if I would, then you. I don't know what you're talking about, but let's think that I would, if it's easier for you. Baka! Eliza yelled at me and headed back to the bathhouse. The square shined with the cleanliness of a German road, which were washed with shampoo, or so people said. That's Slavia for you. And I just argued with Eliza and nothing else. What for? As if it was really necessary. And her behavior? In any other situation, I would have surely said that Eliza likes me and just hides. It's behind her rudeness. That's not important right now, though. Relationships, love, anything. Maybe she isn't even a human. And what if she was a human and all this was happening in the real world? I drove those thoughts away and headed to the leader's cabin. Tiredness had overwhelmed me. It was like an invisible obstacle stopped me in front of the door. Olga Dmitrievna certainly would like to know where I was and why I missed the dance. I'll get a full interrogation for sure. Possibly a cavity search, which I'd be open to. Just stick that whole fist inside. It'll be fun for everyone. Counting the absence of Eliza at the dance too, it would be hard to guess that we skipped it together. On the other hand, should I even tell her that instead of going to the dance, Eliza practiced? Oh, I think I just rap guided that whole thing. On the other hand, should I even tell her that instead of going to the dance, Eliza practiced playing the guitar and I just went along with the flow? That's better. Nothing special, actually. Doesn't really matter why I left. So, at the same time, I thought that it could be better to keep silent. Well, I'll decide on the spot. I sighed and pulled the door handle. Holy melkers, bro. She's wearing the nightgown, bro. Oh my, or a dress, I guess. I guess that was her dance dress. I kind of regret not going to the dance. We would have had a full frontal melker display. Oh my goodness. Ooh, Olga Dmitrievna was already waiting for me, wearing a dress. So, Markapi, where have you been? Tell her that you've been with Eliza or make up another excuse. I'm a one-woman man. I don't like to do the whole, I have a side chick thing. Because I don't even have one girl. If I had one girl, I would cherish her. But in this scenario, where it's a video game, and this is not the actual Markapi Sue you see before you, Sue, see, I'm going to make up another excuse because we could potentially have these milkers and Eliza's milkers at the same time. So I'm going to leave that option open. So I'm going to make up another excuse. That's my rationale. Let me know if I made the right choice. Also, get yourself a glass of chocolate milk because you're epic. Alright. I was just walking around. Alone? Yes. Okay, that's not important. Why didn't you come to the ball? Well, frankly speaking, I don't like dancing. And the milkers revealed themselves yet again. So what? That was a camp public event, which means every pioneer had to attend. She looked at me intently. You could just sit somewhere quietly. I'm sorry, I sighed. Okay. The leader softened. Go to bed quickly. The storm had passed. I tossed and turned, but couldn't sleep. My head was just filled with images of those gigantic milkers in that dress. And I liked ranch dressing, just smothered on those milkers. I thought about those milkers for millennia. Okay, I'm gonna get back to reading the actual game, and not my fanfiction. My head was full of thoughts about music, guitars, and Eliza. I wonder, could I become a professional musician? And do I even want to be one? Why should I want to? It certainly would be pretty fun, but nothing else. Or is Eliza the reason? She really is like an energy vampire, sucking all your juices. Now that's my kind of vampire. My eyes started to close and I fell asleep for a moment after. Looks like we're gonna be on day 4 if this computer shows up. There we go. Look at that, day 4. That's pretty epic. Epic enough to stop the episode? I don't know. No, because I woke up with a hellish ringing inside my head, so I feel like we should keep going. The ringing seemed to be coming from the depths of my consciousness. But after I came to my senses, I realized that the cause of the rain is an alarm clock. Strange. Where did it come from? Why is it standing near my bed? It was 7:30 according to the clock. Olga Dmitryevna had already left, and there was nobody to force me to go to the lineup. Thus I can sleep a bit more. I closed my eyes, but it seemed like my consciousness had already had its coffee and was ready for a long, productive day. I need to get up. I should plan my day out. After all, I need to at least find out something today. But still, nothing came to my head. Fine. I need to wake up completely and wash myself. So we took a bath and then we're gonna wash yourselves? I guess you don't get clean in the bath, you're just kind of in the water. I guess it makes sense. I bite my tongue. On my way to wash stands, I met Xenia. What got you up so early? Anything wrong with being up early? She looked at me as if I had insulted her. No, nothing. Just curious. Oh yeah, last episode she wanted to tell us something, but we kind of told her to F off, to French toast off. None of your business. Gosh, Xenia isn't very sympathetic even when she's in a good mood, but today she just looked furious. One might even say Fast and Furious 7 in theaters today. The cold water perked me up, the fog in my head dissipated, and my thoughts started arranging themselves. Curiously, I started to worry about finding a good place in the canteen, more than about finding answers. I brushed my teeth and was going to leave, when a quiet sound wafted past my ears. It's probably a squirrel or some other animal. I heard another sound, this time a bit farther. I walked 10 meters along the path, searching for the source. Nobody, just the morning forest. Miku-chan! That's pretty epic. I returned to the wash stands and saw Miku, who was looking for something in the grass. Noticing me, she smiled and jumped up to me. Oh, hello. Good morning. Wait, let me... Oh, konnichiwa. Ohayo gozaimasu. I accidentally scattered my tooth powder. Just trying to gather it all back up. The dewy grass didn't seem to be helping matters. Are you sure that's a good idea? Well, why? What else can I do? I don't have any more. It was the last I had. She pouted like a child who had just had her favorite toy taken from her. Here, I'll give you mine. I dug into my bag. No tooth powder there. Strange. Didn't I just put it there? I walked away for just a minute, and now it's gone. Listen, it looks like I have forgotten it. I didn't want to tell her that it had just gone missing. Knowing the sensitivity of this girl, it was safe to assume that vanishing household goods would impress her so much that her brain would reset itself in order to avoid overheating. That's a very long-winded way of saying she's a dummy-dumb. Well, I'll be off. Yeah, cheers. Visit me in the music club. I'm still alone there, but Miku's voice faded in the freshness of the summer morning far behind me. Getting back to the leader's cabin, I took my cell phone and looked at the battery meter. Enough power for a day, maybe even less. Of course it won't help me much in here, but still, Finding a charger in the 80s would mean inventing it. Still, regardless, the morning was shining and beautiful. The bright sun was shining over the space, and time-displayed Pioneer Camp Sovianok, warming its residents and filling them with coom energy to spend the day productively. Or in my case, to waste it in futile efforts to find an explanation for everything happening here. There was an unusually large crowd near the canteen. Of course, there was no other place in the camp that pioneers loved as much as the canteen, but why were they all crowding on the porch? I came closer to find out what was going on. It looked like the camp had gathered at the porch. There were all the familiar girls, Olga Dimitrinov and Electro Nick. They were having a lively discussion. I drew closer. Ah, Markapi. Have you seen Shurik today? Nope. What's the matter? We haven't been able to find him since early morning. Disappearing pioneers? Well, that's something new. But he was with you yesterday. She was talking to Electro Nick. Yes, he was. So, you woke up this morning and he wasn't anywhere to be found? No. Why didn't you come to me immediately? Wait, let me rephrase that. Why didn't you come to me immediately? Well, I thought that he got up earlier and went to wash up or something. Did he mention anything yesterday? Interjected Slavia. For example? That he was going somewhere, for instance? Nope. What exactly is so horrifying about that? It's only 9 a.m. He might have decided to go for a walk. You don't know a Shurik? She looked over at me seriously. Well, no, I don't. But I didn't see anything suspicious in this situation. Okay, let's stop panicking. We'll find him. How could he miss breakfast? Olyana grinned. Exactly. Time to eat anyway. The pioneers proceeded into the canteen. Yet again, I had no choice where to fit in. The only free place was at the table with Eliza and Olyana. Take a seat. She pointed at the chair next to her. I sat down. Aren't you going to eat your food? Good idea. I hadn't thought about that. Today's breakfast didn't look much different from yesterday's, but it looked more appetizing is the word I was looking for. Or maybe I was just very hungry. Or maybe I was just eager to finish it off as soon as possible to avoid yet another Olyana prank. Ooh, a beach episode. Episode 8 is going to be a beach episode, which is pretty epic. Want to go to the beach with us today? When? When? Right after breakfast. Generally speaking, relaxation wasn't on my agenda today, but if I was going to spend my time thinking, why shouldn't I do it while getting a suntan? Sure, why not? We just guaranteed ourselves a beach episode. That's epic. Ah, cool! She smiled nicely. I bet you're playing another prank. No, not at all. Olyana waved her hands at me. She sure is, Eliza grinned. She's always like that. I looked at Eliza attentively and suddenly remembered yesterday evening, her strange behavior, our quarrel, but now she looked like usual. Maybe there's no need to say anything to her, though I wasn't going to. At the end of the day, everything that happened that night stopped seeming unusual, as if it was all just a dream. It was only just a dream. I just skipped the dialogue. I'll go back with the scroll wheel. Though I wasn't going to at the end of the day. It was only just a dream. No way! Wow. I didn't have to go back for that dialogue. What a waste. What a waste of your time, my time, and everyone involved. I feel sorry for that. I apologize. I think she's right. Nobody believes me. Olyana took her tray of dirty dishes and stood up. Enjoy your meal. Ikitakimasu, she said in such a way which left no doubt. Nothing good awaits me today at the beach. Me and Eliza were left alone. You know, I guess I shouldn't go with you after all. Why is that? Well, I've got something to do. And what exactly would that be, Baka? She looked in my eyes and I couldn't even find an appropriate excuse. I don't even have a swimsuit. Try mine. You think it will fit me? Give it a try. I don't think it's worth the effort. Don't be a wimp or a simp. We'll find you some swimming trunks. Those words only added to my fear. Wait for me by the canteen. I'll be back soon. Okay. There's nothing wrong with waiting for her, is there? Finishing my breakfast, I left the building and sat on the stairs. Pioneers all having their own business hurried past me one by one. No one stopped me. No one even looked in my direction. It seemed they didn't even consider me a stranger, but exactly the opposite. Just another teenager, their age, their comrade, you could say. I caught myself thinking that I had started to consider this camp and its inhabitants with not as much caution as I had on the first day. Indeed, Eliza was back in a couple of minutes. Ready? Ready for what? She gave me the trunks, though you hardly could call them trunks. They looked like pink boxers decorated with butterflies and flowers. Actually, they were boxers. I'm almost afraid to ask, but where did you get these? Too scared to put them on? Well, you know, I have not the slightest intention of doing so. I appreciated her joke, but wasn't going to make myself a laughingstock. Put them on, she said roughly. Why don't you try them on instead of me? I think it's the color of this swimsuit would set off your eyes very nicely. Let's make a bet. Last time I accepted her bet, I got the child predator status. Or not child, just like overall predator. Not specific to children. I had no desire to accept her bets. No thanks. Alright, you either go to the beach wearing them or you swim naked. Weighing the pros and cons, even the second option seems better than the first. I'm not planning to go anywhere at all. Then I'll tell everyone that you left these trunks in my cabin. Why would I do that? How should I know? She burst into laughter. I didn't want to argue with Eliza, so I decided to go to the beach in the end. But not in those flamboyant trunks. Okay, I'll be there in 10 minutes. Don't be late, Baka. She ran off saying that. I think this is the perfect place to end off part 7. Part 7. Some would say part 7 was just, it almost felt like we were in an alternate universe just racing on horses this whole episode. Others would say, it was epic and I'm going to like the video. That's what a lot of people would actually say. Speaking of which, thank you for watching the video. Please like said video, aforementioned video, comment on this video, and subscribe if you have not already. That would be very epic of you. That's going to do it for me on the Markapi Everlasting Summer playthrough, Part 7. Part 8, beach episode, bring your sunscreen. No skin cancer here, folks. All right, please like the video, all that jazz. And as always, help me find a girlfriend. And bye-bye.